So I'll jump right into it. What was kind of the base idea behind the app? What started it all?
Started when I couldn't get my mattress out of my basement. I was home all alone, no neighbors around. And I searched for somebody to come over and give me a quick hand looking on the internet and looking for an app. I was thinking there's got to be an app out there for a quick, immediate service to come give me a hand. And I couldn't find anything. I was about to call an Uber, and I was going to negotiate with the Uber driver just to give me a hand to pull the mattress out. I was going to give me, $25 or whatever his fare was for the job. And in the end, I started doing the Uber thing, and my neighbor showed up and helped me get the mattress out. So the next day I was talking to my software buddy, and he's like, "Oh, I can make an Uber-like app where I need a hand." I said, "Great." I said, "How much you need?" He said, 30,000. I said, "All right, here's the check. Go make it happen." And 3 years later, and a lot more than 30,000, we finally got the app out there.
Yeah, that's how it ends up being, right? Because then you have feature creep and all the other additional, this could be cool if it could, make coffee too. I get it. I'm a software developer. I deal with that every day. So.
One of the questions I had is, who's your competition out there? Is there other apps that do this already?
Yeah, I mean, there's Thumbtack, there's TaskRabbit. Now, those are all commission-based, though, so we are a free marketplace. You can get on the app, and we do no vetting. So TaskRabbit and Thumbtack, they're doing vetting, and they advertise instant, immediate service, which we are too. But they're vetting, and we're not vetting, and we're free, so you can get on the app quickly, 2-3 minutes. You guys know you can be on the app, your hands popping up because we don't do any vetting.
So how do you make money on that? How do you, if you don't, how do you guys make money?
Well, our initial plan was to go nonprofit, but it's very difficult to go nonprofit. So we're an S Corp. We're right now to cover our operational costs. And again, we're not looking to make $1 trillion off this or any real significant money. We're looking to cover our costs, and we've got advertisement.
Okay.
And we got sponsors. We got significant sponsors. We've got a nonprofit sponsoring some money, and we've got some friends that have successful businesses that are also sponsoring.
Okay.
And we got advertisement.
So your goal of the app was not to make money then?
The ultimate goal is not to make money. The ultimate goal is to take out the middleman.
Wow.
Okay.
I feel like that's I don't know. I've never heard anyone that's going to spend all that money just to not make any money on it. So it's just odd for me. I'm kind of at a loss of a question to ask because everyone we else talk to, they're all ready to make some cheddar.
But I like the idea though, Michael. It's the whole purpose of connecting two people who have one person with a need and one person with a resource and make it happen. I get it. I think it's a great idea. So when we're looking at that and kind of thinking about that, when you say your purpose is not to make money and you mentioned nonprofit and stuff. So what is your main target audience for either side? I mean, obviously I understand that you do want the people, providing the services to get some kind of a compensation. I get that. But what is it? What do you see yourself? What do you see the main target audience? Is this like seniors who needs help? Or is it, not just handicapped, but, what do you think your target audience is?
Good question. My vision is the target audience is that person that has a established life. It's got a decent income and has needs around the house that they can spend the money to get someone to do the task. And then the younger person that doesn't have much to do, that is looking for some extra money, can connect with those people. So I love the example of raking leaves. The older generation, maybe they can't get out and run the rake like they used to. And there's probably a kid down the block, 2-3 doors, sitting in his basement playing video games that would be happier than hell to make $25 in an hour raking leaves.
Right. Well, and I'm sure there is, but that brings me right into my next question about security. Mm-hmm. You said you guys don't do background checks, right?
Correct.
And I understand that probably one of the reasons you're doing that is because you want people to dig right into it. But do you have any kind of concerns at all about not doing it? I mean, what happened? So I have a 15-year-old boy, right? I'm not sure I'm that comfortable just sending him down 5-10 houses if I don't know the people. I mean, and do that. Unfortunately, in today's world, I mean, is that something we can just do? I guess it is, maybe, but I'm a little bit worried about it, though. I would think. Do you know what I'm asking?
Yeah, it's not much different from the neighbor kid putting flyers in everybody's mailbox saying, "Hey, I'm available to do odd jobs around the house," right?
And
or odd jobs. And the neighbor calls them up that's 10 doors down. There's got to be some logical vetting there. The parents have got to say, okay, I've seen that person outside walking. I've seen, they come and go as normal people. They got to make some judgments there. Yeah. It's just like a newspaper ad, Craigslist, anything that is where you have to do your own vetting, right?
Right.
So you must have something in your terms of service or when they sign something that says you're not responsible for any of that. Because with the suit, such a sue happy society, I think that would be an issue.
Correct. That's in the terms of usage. And one of the big reasons why we don't have that liability is we're not taking any money in via the app and giving out any money. So the money exchange is directly from the service provider, from the customer to the service provider. So we're just making the connection. They're responsible for the vetting and the money exchange.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just so bizarre to me that you don't want to make money. Like I'm it's just so weird because why would you spend all that money on creating an app? Because I'm sure you've spent well over 30,000.
Yeah. Well, I've been having a ball with it. I've been a service provider and I've been a user of the app. I've had young kids come over and move dirt in my yard, and I just love making that connection. It almost made me cry when I went to my neighbor across the street who's been dying to get someone to help him out, made the connection with the app, and he was on television. He was on the Fox 7 news program, and he was ecstatic. He used the kid for 2 days.
Yeah.
And for me, that just sends chills down my body to make that connection. I kind of feel like God put me on this earth to help people connect. And this is what I'm doing. This is what we're doing with this app.
So are you, maybe I missed it before we started, but what do you do for your day job then?
I am in the automotive industry. I'm right now I'm doing consulting work, helping companies, get back on track. Crisis management, problem resolution.
Okay. All right.
Nice. So I think the next question we have probably answers itself because you kind of alluded to it a little bit. But so basically, since there's no fee structure and you're not getting any money at all for it, do you have any insurance needs at all for your providers or for your people? What happens if you make a connection and Johnny goes and he wants to rake leaves, but he ends up, I don't know, accidentally killing the pet. I'm just maybe not, but you know what I mean? I mean,
Absolutely.
does something that's worse, right? What happens? And is the I need a hand at any kind of liability there?
According to our, I talked about this just recently with a lawyer. She said, nope, we're not liable. It clearly states that they are responsible for making the vetting. They, the customer and the service provider, and they're responsible for anything that happens during that event that they may have performed together, right?
Okay.
So it's just like if they have an issue, they should call the police, just like any other issue like Craigslist or, you go down the neighbor and you working on their roof and you fall off their roof, you would work it out with the neighbor, right?
So, yeah, exactly. So that same thing. So let's say he would fall off the roof. Now it becomes an issue between the house owner's home insurance and him, right?
Exactly.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Same through the ride share, whoever's doing ride share performance, he's got to be legal. He's got to be able to transport people in his car. He's got to have some kind of insurance.
So that one was a little bit more iffy to me when I saw that, because that's a big one, obviously. And I know we obviously do a lot in the whole rideshare industry, and insurance is a huge thing. Insurance is a very, very, very big thing. And I think that was kind of an immediate flag. So I've been kind of watching the app, and there's probably, you must have just opened up for Grand App. It's not that long ago, because there's not that many providers most of the time. But most of the time, within like 5 miles from me, there's one person who does rideshare. He offers up rideshare all the time. And in his case, though, I don't even know it's enough for him to just have the rider. He needs to have a full commercial policy.
I don't
who
think
knows?
They are in Grand Rapids currently.
I've seen when I log into the app, I see people offering services in Grand Rapids. Is that not what I'm supposed to see, Michael?
Yeah, we haven't launched in Grand Rapids. If you look on the map in Detroit, you'll see quite a lot of hands.
Right.
And, I think there's like 20 ride shares on there. And I know one of them, he's actually got like a limousine service.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So he's on there using it and it's got a nice feature where he's telling his customers to use the app and tag them as a heart. There's a function there where you can mark a favorite for your service providers. And then instead of a hand, it pops up as a heart.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, bringing that up as that driver, it's kind of like you can kind of create your own business and be like, if this is what I do, I fix roofs or whatever, or drive people around, and you can create connections through that. Now, is there a rating system at all on the app?
Yeah, and that's what we're finding that's not happening because people aren't going through the full work order process. I mean, we created a pretty simple process. After you send the work request, it just asks you to start it and stop it, and then after you stop it or complete it, it gives you a chance to rate. And we're finding a lot of people are making the connections just looking on the map. They're looking on the map, they see the hand, and they just start messaging. And they start calling, and the connection is made. And they're not going through the process of the work order to rate. So we got to figure out a way to get the ratings in there. I don't have a clever way yet. If you think of something, let me know.
Well, the struggle is too that there really is very little reason for them to go back, right? That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because they got the job done. I mean, Uber struggled with that too when they first added the whole tipping part. The job was done. The trip was over. There's no reason for people to go back and tip afterwards. So that just never really happened. So
I think the way to do it is if you want to do another job, you have to rate the last one. Or if the customer wants to make another connection, they need to rate. That's kind of what Uber ended up doing.
Yeah, I think that's what we need to do.
Another 9 ride, you got to rate and
rate the previous one. Yep.
Yeah. Before you,
I like that.
Yeah, because then it kind of forces them. Doesn't mean they have to write anything, but at least they can give some stars, and that way you can kind of weed out the people. And I'm sure the customers would love that too. Like, oh, this guy's 2 stars. Like, ew.
The other thing you could do is if you don't rate, you could just have it be negatively affecting your own rating. Then that's gonna stop real fast too.
Yeah, you lose a star automatically if you don't rate the
right. Exactly. There's got to be a reason for people to come back, right?
Very good. I like
so.
that.
The next question we also don't need to talk about. Let's talk about the craziest story so far. And I know you mentioned the one from your neighbor, but there must be another one you can talk about that was a connection that you're really proud of having made or been a part of.
Well, I had one. I'm on there as a handyman. The guy sent me a work order, and this gives you an example of the security that he's put out there. So I saw the first address on the work order. It was fortunately available, so I accepted the work order, and I was en route to the destination following the process in the app because it gives a nice map. After you accept the work order, it tells you exactly how to get to the work site. So I was following along, and all of a sudden he starts calling me, and I said, "Hey, I'm on my way. I'm about 5 minutes away." He's like, "Oh, no, that's not the work site." So you know what he did? He was just out there. He didn't want to release his home address until he's validated me. Right.
Okay. Interesting.
So that's a good idea too. That brings up another point, right? Is that maybe you do want to put in that extra step of validation into the app. Are you ready to show the address kind of thing? Maybe that kind of stuff.
That's because we do have a patent pending technology for the service provider. It's called pinned and radius. So the pinned is you can pick a location nearby if you're not comfortable sharing your exact location.
Right.
And then the radius is that you can limit the radius of exposure. So if you only want to service your neighbors within 1 mile, you can put a 1 mile radius, and only neighbors looking inside that radius see you on the map.
I have a just a question. I just throw it out there because we're kind of talking. Why not have the provider pay for a background check?
Great question. In fact, we are in the process. We're talking to some. There's lots of vetting companies out there. We're going to give the option to the service provider and the customers to vet themselves and have a special certificate next to their name.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if the customer didn't have one, because I wouldn't expect if I was going to go do a work at my neighbor's house for them to have a background check. But I think if I signed up for this app and that was an option, I would get one, whatever, as long as it was in reasonable amount of money.
Right, and it's not too bad.
I'd be like, hey,
No,
I want my people to know that I've been background checked and it's all good. And yeah, I think that would be an amazing.
I think the big one that all the big people are using is Checker, and it's pretty easy to use. I understand. It's CHEKR.com. Both Uber is using that. I think Lyft, maybe, I'm not sure actually, but several of the other ones are using that one, and they have systems that ties into them. So it's all done. It's all done programmatically. And I love the idea, Jason, what you were saying. It's just having the provider pay for it himself or herself. And then have a little,
It's a business expense.
Exactly. No, exactly. But then what you would do is you would just put that onto the app, saying that whether you want to call it verified or whatever you want to do, so the people can come in and you can click on it. You can maybe not see the full background check, but at least see stuff such as he's not on the. He's not on.
Hey, I just need a check mark. I don't need all this.
No, but
we're overcomplicating.
but maybe at least somewhere in the app, tell them what that check mark means.
Right.
Absolutely.
And there's probably a place for a profile, I assume, where you can put your picture and your experience and those kind of things. But yeah, I think having those features would be great. I know that one of our sponsors, Oiluber, has had it's pretty tough to integrate that into the app and the website. I guess that's what they were complaining about. But you can run them manually pretty easy, I guess. So I don't know. That's just what I heard.
Just adding on to that checker, there is a spot in your profile to put links.
Okay.
So, for example, I have a certificate on Home Advisor.
Okay. Yep.
As a handyman. So I put that link to that certificate in my
that's
profile.
huge.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's easy to do. And you can paste your Facebook link. You can paste your LinkedIn. So it just gives more information to validate you. Right?
Well, that's such a good idea, because I know when I buy stuff on Facebook Marketplace, I immediately go to their profile because I'm like, okay, where does this guy live? Like, what's he posting? I'm not trying to judge them, but if he's like flashing gang signs and has got a pistol and something, I don't think I'm going to do business with him. Not that I've experienced that, but
and if he's only got like 2 friends, right?
Yeah,
right.
And even Facebook has that rating system too. So I've never had a bad experience on there. But so moving forward, when do you anticipate on expanding as far as in Michigan?
So we just launched in my hometown, Athens, East Leroy, Climax, and Scotts, what we call ACES region. And we did that last week. And our goal is to do Lansing in November. And then I'm hoping we get over to Grand Rapids in January.
Okay, cool.
You got to go faster than that. I have a big pile of trash I got to get moved. Come on.
I can really see you pitching this as an app to grow your own business. I really can. It. That's what it sounds like to me. An app to grow your own business. Are you, gosh, there's somebody in our next door group that they get so many rave reviews of the work they do. And they're just, they do landscaping and lawn cleanup. I just feel like that. What a great way to connect with a lot of people and to say, hey, this is my profile. This is what I do. So I think it's great. I want you to make money though. You invested all that time and money. I just feel like you should make a little bit of money. I don't know. or someone buy it from you, and then you can retire. There you go.
Well, maybe go out and get sponsorships from some of the big local home improvement stores and stuff like that, and put ads like of them into the app.
Yeah, there's a button there. It says in the About section, it talks about help the cause, and we do have a sponsor section. We got two sponsors that are going to go on to that probably in the next weeks, and we're looking for more. It's not too bad of a price. It's $500 to get on that page.
For how long?
For we were thinking about 1 year. 1 year to be on that.
Okay.
And not list. It's a list. It's just like National Public Radio. Have their sponsors.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the same idea that we're thinking. And then we give them access to the link, so we'll have all the sponsors, and we're thinking about putting the ones that donate the most on the top. Right?
Well, yeah.
And then as you go down, you can see who's sponsoring the app, who believes in the mission, and then if you click on those sponsors, it goes to their link.
Ooh, Jesper, we may have to have an off-camera conversation.
I know what you're thinking. We don't have any money.
Hey, $500 is reasonable. Well, I was going to pitch to you if you were. I didn't know it was. Obviously, I didn't do my research as well as I should have, but I always pitch to the interviews I have. I'm like, hey, we are looking for sponsors on our show.
Well, yeah, let's talk off camera, because I think you guys are doing a great thing.
Okay.
I mean, how are you guys making money? How are you covering your costs?
Well, we have sponsors. We Irvine's Auto Repair in Grand Rapids Hybrid. They've been a sponsor for a while, and then they signed for a year. So we've had and then we have Oiluber, and so they come and go, but we don't charge that much either. So we're not like yes, we're national, and I'm honestly our second biggest audience is in California, but yeah, that's kind of how we're covering our costs. Yeah.
And Michael, we're not making buco bucks either.
No.
I mean, if we make $10 according to Uncle Sam at the end of the year, I'll be happy. So.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, you know what I call you guys? I call you guys the voice of the gig economy.
I like that.
We're looking for. We actually got an intro guy that we've been working with, and we had one for a while, but we got rid of it because we actually rebranded. We used to be called GR Rideshare Adventures, but then as the gig economy blew up, I'm like, man, we need to rebrand. So we're looking. That's good. The voice of the
gig economy. And you guys know what the face of the gig economy is.
Oh gosh. Who?
Come on. It's not that easy. What are we talking about here?
Oh, I need a hand.
That's our one of our slogans. Face to the gig economy.
Oh,
okay. I didn't know that. I'm sorry, Michael. That's again, we did not do
I haven't put it out there very strong.
I have not seen that, and I even have had the app installed several. And
I haven't publicized it, but that's just a thought. What did you guys think about that slogan for us? Face to the gig economy.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
I mean,
or a hand for the gig economy.
Right.
A hand for the gig
economy. Because you're using your logo as a hand. Your name is I Need a Hand. So might as well throw that in there.
One of the things that I like a lot about I Need a Hand is it doesn't provide one bucket. We talk a lot about buckets. We talk a lot about creating several different buckets in the gig economy. And it's very important not to just have one gig because one gig can change or disappear or whatever from day to day. And I think your app provides many different kinds of buckets for a true gig economy worker. You don't have to just do one thing. You can do rideshare, you can do help, you can do shopping, you can do anything using the I Need a Hand app, right? And I think so that's interesting. It's not like most of the other services; they provide one bucket, and you have to sign up and be vetted by each service. Like Shipt, it's only one bucket. Uber, it's one bucket. Lyft, one bucket. I mean, it's the same thing all the time. Whereas I Need a Hand, there's many different services you can provide. There's many different buckets in there that you can open yourself up for. Just tying back to what Jason said a moment ago, it's a really a way for you to very, very quickly expand on your business if you want to just be your own boss.
I like what you guys are saying.
I know. I see you writing stuff down. I appreciate that.
You
gave
guys are very important.
Yeah, and we gave you some stuff. So, Michael, well, thank you so much. Thanks for the time. I really appreciate that. This first is going to go out to our Patreon subscribers, and then in about a month later, it'll go out to the regular public. So we like to reward the people that. That's another way we make a little money. Is Patreon. So this will go out to them first, and then a month later, it'll go out to our regular feed.
So I wouldn't be able to share it with I'm going to share it on my Facebook. So I wouldn't be able to share it until.
It'll be a couple of weeks, probably.
Like about a month from now. So I'll give you a heads up.
Yeah, give me a heads up, and I'll really promote it. We've got like 5,000 followers on our Facebook page, and
nice.
We'll boost it. I'll even pay a little money and boost it.
Oh, geez. Well, thank you. So what we'll do is we'll post the video and the audio. So the audio will go to the podcast directories. I'll edit it up and add an intro and all that. And then the video will go on like YouTube and then Facebook and all that stuff like that.
Great. Yeah, I think you guys being the voice of the gig economy, us being the face of the gig economy, we got to hook up.
That's right.
Sounds like a plan.